everyone. Okay, so now I'm going to take you through the orientation, just of the modules and sort of show you around the class. Um, as you can see here, I've opened up, and you can't see the things up below. These are things that are just for me, but I've set up for you some basic things that you have access to. So, for example, whenever I send out an announcement to you, if you happen to lose it or you're not sure, you can always click on the announcements page and it will take you to the latest announcements. Okay. So always know that you can do that. And you can also either click there or you can click here to also access the announcements page. So that's you multiple ways to get to it. Um, this just tells you basically that you have to go through the orientation module before you can get to chapter 1. And it's important that you understand that. So I have it blocked until then. So until you complete or go through the entire orientation module during the first week, you won't be able to access the chapter 1. Okay. So please know that. Uh, so there's a couple ways you can go into the module. You can click on module, or you can go down here and click on next. Both will take you to the same, or you can click on getting started module. Any of those three ways will take you to the modules you need to access. The other thing you have access to here will be your grades. Um, you will notice that in your grades, I don't allow you to see the totals, the grade totals. And there's no personal reason for it. The idea behind it is simply that when, let's say hypothetically, if you did assignments 1, 2, and then you skipped 4, 5, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and then you decided to do 7, 8, 9. Well, in the totals, it only totals what you've done. So unless I put a 0 in, physically put a 0 in for the ones you didn't do, you would think, and let's say you got A's in all those other ones, you would think you had an A in the class. Well, you wouldn't have an A in the class because you obviously didn't do, the several of the assignments. But because the totals would mislead you, I choose not to let them be seen because it creates too much confusion. And besides, I don't close because this is a short class. I don't close off anything so that so I don't put any zeros into the very end. So I don't want to create any confusion for you. So you'll be able to see your scores, but you won't be able to see, you will not be able to see your total grade. But it's easy to calculate that, and I'll do that later on. I'll send you out an announcement about how to calculate your grade. It's pretty simple. We have access to IVC tutoring. I'd put the library databases there. So this to give you some access to some basic things. But the main thing you're going to need is the modules. And when you go in the modules, you can see here it's laid out with all the information. The first one's busy because there's a lot of stuff that I just need you to cover, and you can get through it very quickly. You'll see my welcome video, just a short video saying, hey, welcome to class. And then you'll see this video, the orientation video, which is not part 1, it's just actually orientation video, so I will remove that. The to-do list, you'll see about my bio if you want to know about me as a professor and what I've done. Then it just asks you, like if this is your first time taking an online class, it just asks you to assess yourself to make sure you're ready. And if you are first time and you're having trouble, please get in touch with me ASAP so we can get through and deal with all those types of things. Just some general information stuff, time commitment, attendance, participation, those types of things. Getting to know your online classroom, student support, student resources, how to contact me, my office hours. Those are all things that are laid out inside of here for you. And then you'll get to the academic calendar, which again, you're looking at spring 2021 semester. It'll tell you any pertinent dates, holidays, things like that are laid out there. This is the thing I'll go into in a moment here, but let me get to the rest of this. This is our syllabus and the course roadmap, which is also laid out here. I'll cover these two in a moment. There is some information regarding our textbook here, which is called, it's actually called International Studies. It's our textbook for our Global Studies class. It talks a little about what the book is about. And then from there we get into, again, just the well, we're doing this orientation video that we're doing now, which I need to remove this. Actually, I'm glad I saw that. So I'll take that out of there so you won't see that. And then we get into one of the most important parts of the class, which is all these things here, which deal with discussions and how to go about doing the discussions and sort of what I want you to do and how I want you to approach it. So do spend some time going into and looking at the discussions and how they're set up. Okay. That's really important. The sample you'll see is from my American governments class, but it's the same context in terms of how I expect you to be able to utilize it. Okay. Let's see. And then there's some sample discussion posts here. And then the only thing you have to do the first week is this getting to know each other discussion. And it's free points. These are free 20 points for you. So I expect all of you to do it during that first week. And actually, I need to change the date here now that I see this. And I'll do that since I have it all right here. I'll just change it right now. I didn't realize that that was set for the date isn't accurate. So let me correct this. So this will be Saturday, and the date will be, you get to have it organically, which is fine. I love doing things naturally. You'll find that out about me. So this will be April 24th, and all post responses must be done by Saturday, which will be May 1st. Okay, so this will be May 1st. Let me correct this date. Okay, there you go. And I will save that. I'm glad you see. Sometimes you got to go through and double check yourself. That's just how it happens sometimes. I will change the dates here. So this will go to. Now you get to find out inside the mad workings of the professor. This is the kind of stuff we have to deal with all the time. The due date will be, as I said, April. Get this out of my way here. It's going to get in my way. Come on. April 24th. And this will be May 1st. Okay. Okay. So that takes care of all that. Okay. So this is the process. It just tells you about what you need to do. Just ask you some basic questions. Have you ever taken this class before? Or have you taken an online course before? What are your interests? Things like that. So I will give this. The only thing you have to do is free points for you in the class, and so that's all you have to do. Okay. All right. Let me go back to the module. The only other thing in here, so that's it for week one. You get a free 20 points. You will see media resources in here that I've put in for you. This is all types of news media information from various magazines and websites, as well as there is actually a PDF here that I put in that actually lists tons and tons of international media sources, the CIA fact book, all kinds of different sources in here that you can utilize to dig up information. So it's a really good, useful tool. Okay. And then the next thing you'll see and these are all laid out basically the same, the weekly chapter lectures or chapter modules. And each one will have a chapter overview. There'll be a short video lecture from myself. Any chapter videos I want you to watch relevant to the theme of the chapter. If there's a PowerPoint available, I will post PowerPoints that will not be for every chapter because unfortunately the publisher screwed this all up. So the PowerPoints that were supposed to be available have not yet reached me, and that's another whole issue. So we won't deal with that. If there's any other resources I want to post for that chapter, I'll put them here. There may or may not be for that chapter. In the early chapters, there may not be much there, so don't worry about that. And the last thing in here is basically what has to do with your assignment. And early on, you have to do a write-up for each chapter. And basically all it is I'm asking you to write 1 or 2 paragraphs or no more than a page about the theme of what you took away from the chapter, what was important to you, what did you find of value, and so basically just give me a synopsis of what you thought about that chapter, what you learned from the chapter, okay? And it's not, again, this is just keep it simple. You'll basically would click in here, you'll type in your information, and then you submit it to me, and that's it, okay? So not too complicated. Later on, when we get into the discussions, you'll be doing a write-up for the chapter, and then you'll be also doing group discussions with your classmates on some of the questions that I'll be posing to you on the issues that we'll be delving into. That's pretty much it. Last thing but not least has to do with the syllabus. And in the syllabus here, you can download it if you want. It's also built in here for you. It just lays out the structure of the class. I don't need to go through all these things. These are things you can read yourself so you understand what the class is about. There's our textbook. The main things in here for you to know, of course, have to do with the number of points that are available for the class. That has to do with all the various aspects of the course that you'll need to know. Okay. The weekly assignments are laid out in here for you as well. As I mentioned to you before, I'm probably going to be going in and having you. I may pull some of these assignments out because because I'm trying to give you a reasonable amount of work. So I may pull some things out. As I said, we're having a meeting tomorrow that I'm going to set up. I haven't heard back from some of you, so I'll be looking to hear from you about what time you're available tomorrow. Again, it's not mandatory, but hopefully you'll be able to come just so we can say hello to one another. And as I said, also, one of the things I use quite a bit is Pronto. You can download the Pronto app for your phone so you're able to reach me and we can communicate through there all the time. It's what I use for office hours, for chatting with my students. That's the typical place that I go, okay? All right, I think I've talked enough to talk myself and you out of anything. But anyhow, that gets us through the orientation part. And again, I look forward to seeing you all, and you'll be seeing the modules get modified along the way. That's why during this first week, hopefully the publisher will get their act together and get some things to me. If not, no big deal. I'll be adding some things into the modules as we go. But the week one is all set, and I look forward to seeing you on the back end. You guys have a great day.